Well, if we were to award points for like a boxing match, this game I think will come out a tie. First quarter goes to Gate City. Second and third quarter goes to Eastside. Fourth quarter, Gate City.
Yeah. You take a look at the scoring. Of course, Gate City with that huge first quarter, 37-16. They completely dominated Eastside, shooting almost 83% from the game. But then the second quarter, Eastside, the light went on. They did what they needed to do, get back in the ball game. Of course, they made it a good, close ball game. At halftime, it was 47-39.
You realize, Joe, they scored almost as many points in the second quarter as they did the second half?
Yes, indeed. And, a lot of adjustments, a lot of things. Of course, they came out and shot. And if Eastside could have shot a little bit better in that third quarter, they had so many shots they missed to start off with. They didn't score until 5 minutes left in the quarter. It'd have been different. But anyway, Eastside did outscore Gate City 13-12 in that third period. Again, closed it down. They got within 4. Gate City, though, with 19-15 advantage in the fourth quarter. It is a 78-67 game. We kind of went back and forth on the rebounds. 41 rebounds for Eastside. Is that what you got?
Well, I had them with 36, but now I'm not going to score the rebound if the ball winds up going out of bounds on a play.
Well, I don't know how they did it here. UVA Wise has provided us some stats. Of course,
they probably know way more about doing this than I do.
Well, but now we also have to say thank you to them. They did a great job. Been great hosts for us.
They have.
Had a great spot for us.
Updates every quarter.
It was a great experience here again. As we move forward, of course, from this game, we'll be playing next Saturday night at the Bearcat Den in Virginia at Virginia High. Zach Irvin led the way for Gate City with scoring. He had 36 points. Bradley Dean with 24 points. Then there's a drop-off, and that's one of the things we talked about. We need to see some additional scoring. Last year, again, Dean, Irvin, and McClung combined for 80%. This is a little bit more disparaging. John Sally had 6 points. John Compton had 6. 2 for Starnes, 2 for Ghost, and 2 for Reed, and that's it.
I can't help but think that the shot clock had something to do with this. I was excited to see it tonight, and as the game wore on, I don't know if that's something we need for high school. It just almost seemed like they couldn't get set, they couldn't run their plays. I wouldn't mind to see another game or two before I form my opinion, but right now I don't know if I'm thrilled with it.
Well, and that's nobody's got their clocks in their gyms. You're just sort of it was an experiment, but anyway, won't have it next week against Virginia High.
I think that'll make a difference.
And I think we'll be better with. But the first half kind of got into that. And again, not coaching and don't want to be coaching. But the fact is, there was so much isolation. We caught them kind of off guard. We shot so well and was able to dribble, drive, and do the things we wanted to. But when you start talking about in the second quarter, when they started bogging us down, we really didn't have an answer. And that's, again, we only scored 10 points in the second quarter.
And that's what I'm going back with the shot clock idea. It almost seems to me like we were really, really rushing in the second quarter. They seemed out of sorts. It became more of a street ball game instead of executing offensive plays.
We talked about how great Gate City is from the free throw line. They started off the season pretty well. They were 10 for 12. Eastside was 9 for 12 from the line. For the game, you take a look at the shooting percentages. Of course, ours dropped throughout the game. We ended up shooting 31 of 68 for 45%. And then, of course, Eastside, they started off slow. And, of course, they climbed up there in the middle of the game. Sort of fell off the end. They shot close to 40%. They were 24 of 65. But again, it was such a up and down. They looked so good sometimes, and then all of a sudden, they couldn't hit anything. And so it was back and forth.
This really is one of the more bizarre high school games I remember seeing. It's like you thought Gate City was going to absolutely destroy them, run them out of Wise tonight in that first quarter.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the next thing you know, you look up the scoreboard and it's 6 points. It was very strange.
Yeah. So right now we'll talk about the Delegate Terry Kilgore Leadership Player of the Game. This is an award that honor by Delegate Kilgore. He'd like to bestow on a player that embodies characteristics he takes to Richmond every year. The determination to be a true team player, putting the needs above the team, of the team above their own, working tirelessly to make sure the main goal of success is reached. The delegate Terry Kilgore, leadership player of the game. I think you have to go with Zach Irvin. Again, 36 points. Anytime they needed something, that he had 9 rebounds. Of course, kind of a little bit not worried, but he didn't look exactly healthy. He didn't push off sort of like that spring we've seen from him over the last few years. But again, Zach Irvin is our leadership player of the game, sponsored by Terry Kilgore.
Well, if Rob's able to track him down, one thing I would like for you to ask him, or I'll ask him if you get the chance, is I wonder just how hard he was pushing it tonight with the knee.
Yeah, good call.
I do want to throw out also, mention Sally's name. He had a pretty good second half.
And that actually leads us into the what we were talking about with the play of the night. The Model City moment of the night, I believe, again, the Model City Event Center is located in the heart of Kingsport. You can give them a call today at 423-723-8177. But again, the Model City moment of the night, I think, was in that second half. Again, it was Sally that got that breakaway steal and that layup. It was down to a 4-point advantage. At that point, we kind of started to sway a little bit, and he got that, sort of turned us around and got us on track, and again, to be able to pick up the double-digit victory. So again, John Sally with the play of the night, the Model City moment of the night, again, by Model City Event Center. So we'll take a quick break, come back, wrap everything up, maybe get an interview or two, maybe not, you never know. Mr. Ferguson is MIA. So
he's probably out turning off lights again, unplugging extension cords.
Or he could be finding the rice pilaf in the cafeteria at this point. So again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Proudly representing Southwest Virginia in the House of Delegates for the last 24 years, Terry Kilgore continues to strive and work hard for others. Just like our Gate City Blue Devils proudly represents our school, our town, and community. Delegate Kilgore, a proud Gate City alumni himself, wants to thank the residents of the 1st District for their trust and support over the years as he's continued to voice our needs and concerns in Richmond to make our region a tremendous place to live and work. And on behalf of Delegate Kilgore and his family and staff, they say, go Big Blue.
I've been having pain in my knees and back, and nothing seems to help.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
I've been having hot flashes, feeling stressed, and have no energy. I wonder what's going on.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
I had breast surgery, and I want to do something about the scar.
Call Premier Pharmacy.
This has been the worst year for my allergies and sinuses.
Call Premier Pharmacy at 423-245-1022. Located at 109 Jack White Drive in Kingsport and accepting all insurances. Call to find out more or stop by for a free consultation.
And we are back here on the James River Advisors post-game show. Again, want to say thank you to them. Sponsorship of the pre- and post-game show for the boys teams. Again, on a victorious night, 67-78, as we would go backwards with that. Again, some of your takeaways, Mr. Carr, from the night?
First quarter, I thought, my goodness gracious. Second quarter, I thought, oh my goodness gracious. But in a completely different way. Hey, a win's a win, don't get me wrong. We look good tonight. And something we need to remember, Eastside was the state runner-up last year. It's not like this was a cupcake team that we should have steamrolled over.
Yeah. So
I think that playing stiff competition like this can only help us later on in the season. I think it was a good game tonight. It was a good game.
All right, so we've got one of the coaches of the night coming off of me, of course, is it's the man, the myth, the legend. Coach Boy, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Good. Of course, your JV squad took care of business to open the night with an impressive victory. Of course, then the varsity game here, 78-67 win. Talk a little bit about your all's initial thoughts of the game, both your JV and the varsity.
Well, coming in, our JV, we've been going at it for 3 weeks, going at each other. You don't know really what you have until you get in game situations. So we are blessed to have 5 coming back that kind of know what we're looking for. Then we got about 9 freshmen and an 8th grader who are learning what it's all about to wear that uniform. But I was absolutely tickled to see our guys step up. And one thing we preach, and I can't say it's me. I'm blessed to have Jason Howe and Chris McDonald. These guys are 2 guys that have played in our program, Howell's on the first team to win the region. McDonald played with Chris Peters, Shoemaker. You know, he's been there too. So we preach energy, you know, sit down and play your butt off on defense. And, you know, without that, you know, we can't be who we are. And these guys are learning what that's about. And I was very, very tickled to see our energy, because the biggest thing with us, we've been preaching with them, is believe in each other. You know, that's your brother on the floor. You got to step up, back them up. And we had 10, I think maybe sometimes 11 show up and just play their butts off. And even the guys that didn't get a lot of time come in, they came in and sit down and say, hey, we're going to play just as hard as those guys did. And, you know, we started at a good point tonight, and I'm not sure what Eastside will end up being in the future, but they're a good team. I mean, they're solid. They don't screw up much, and they're well coached, and that just starts from Dameron at the top anyway. But next week we go to Virginia High. I'm not sure what they'll have, but as far as guys, we just want to build on what we have. And, you know, there's a lot of people know that Matt's gone. A lot of people know that after Zach and some of these guys go, you know, our guys are taking it to a point to let them know that, you know, Gate City basketball is not going away defensively. And we want to let everybody know that we still got some guys coming that, you know, they're going to be a force to deal with in the future. And we want to build on that and keep getting better and better and better to the point that, you know, we're ready to rock and roll later on.
You know, there was ebb and flows in the game. You know, there was that first quarter, we were just scorching, 37-16. Really came out, shot almost 83% from the field. Then, you know, kind of cooled down. You know, Eastside sort of got their bearings again. Like you said, a very good team. And it was back and forth. So, your thoughts about that as you went into the half?
It's going to be a learning process. You know, we got, you know, Coach got some guys that shun stuff learn, but we're going to be okay later. It's just going to take. It's a growth process, and everybody's going through it. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's going to take some time.
Got a lot of guys coming in here. Coach Scotty Vermeen. Got Bradley Dean coming in as well. And also got Zach Irvin. My goodness, the crowd is here, folks. Initial thoughts, guys, from the ball game tonight. We'll start with you, Coach Vermeen.
We started off fast and you know, hit some shots early and got some transition buckets. And then I thought our defense really we just wasn't a great effort defensively from the second quarter on. Rebounding was poor, but those are all things that you expect from maybe a benefit game. It's not used to playing.
You know, there was, as we just Coach, we were just talking about, there was ebb and flows to the game. You know, they were hot all of a sudden, and then they sort of cooled off, and you all sort of took over, and there was back and forth sometimes. And, you know, overall, your assessment, what's the biggest thing you think you need moving forward, getting ready for Virginia High next Saturday night?
Rebounding, and then I think also offensive movement. We stood and watched a lot tonight. I thought the difference in the two teams, Eastside executed their offense and were very good at dribble penetration and kicking to their shooters. Our offense did not look like it's supposed to, but you know, motion is like that sometimes. It gets stagnant. So I think that was the big thing. We got to work on our motion and certainly our half court D and rebounding.
You know, talk about the rebounding. They out-rebounded you 41-40. You know, that was kind of something we talked about in the pregame, to make another deep run. You know, some of these guys, especially around the region that we've talked about, some of these other teams, it's got some of these big guys. We've got to be able to battle on the boards a little bit better. And, you know, of course, like you said, you got some things to work on. Looks like.
We do. Our guards need to board better. And, Zach and Brad are big-time scorers for us, but they also need to be rebounders and for us as well. But they find themselves extended sometimes, and, you know, our defense makes that happen sometimes. We get extended, and then, you know, we give up offensive rebounds. But we got some work to do, and, you know, go back to the drawing board and look at the film. I think that's, you know, positive is we scored enough points to win.
A win is a win. We'll take it. So how does it feel being back on the court? 8 months. Last time you were on the court, you were winning a state championship. When you're standing there, you're like,
Every team's different. It feels really, really good to be here with this team. I love my teams, and I loved last year's team, but that one's over, and now we get to build a new one. And honestly, it's enjoyable. I love it.
Back at the bottom of the mountain, going to climb right back up, right?
I got to climb back up.
All right, well, coaches, I'll let you all go. I'll talk to the players.
Thank
Coach
you
Shannon Boyd,
much.
Coach Scotty Vermeen's been here. Again, like I said, we'll be talking to him a lot more coming up this season. Got a couple of, again, the delegate Terry Kilgore leadership players of the game, Bradley Dean, Zach Irvin. Guys,